Hello to all my wonderful subscribers, and welcome back to Whispers of Turkish Stars. I'm thrilled you're here, because today we're diving into a topic that blends sweet anticipation with serious style. If you adore celebrity fashion, if you melt over tiny outfits, or if you're simply curious about what your favorite stars are up to when the cameras aren't rolling, this one is for you. The title probably gave you a hint. Yes, we're talking about shopping for baby clothes, and the names at the center of the buzz are none other than Cemre, Arda and Gökberk Yildirim. Get cozy, turn up the volume, and stay with me, because the whispers are getting louder, and we're going to unpack every detail together. For anyone new to the channel, welcome. If you love fresh tidbits, behind-the-scenes moments, and thoughtful conversations about style and celebrity life, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Your support means the world and it helps me keep bringing you the content you love. Now, let's talk about those photos everyone is discussing. Rumors about Cemre and a possible baby have been circulating for a while, drifting through social media timelines and sliding into the corners of gossip columns. It was all just speculation until recently. New images popped up of Cemre leaving a children's boutique, the kind of place with soft lighting, muted walls, and clouds of pastels surrounding racks of delicate knitwear. The pictures show her moving quietly, head down, hair tucked behind one ear, a serenity on her face that could be nothing or everything. And yes, she's holding bags. Not one, but several. That, my friends, is where the intrigue starts to bloom. So what's inside those bags? A first little onesie, perhaps, folded like a secret. Tiny socks that would disappear into her palm. A crib blanket with a barely there pattern. Maybe even a stroller catalog tucked between tissue paper and shopping receipts. We can't say for certain from the photos alone, and that's part of the game. Celebrity life writes in gentle ellipses, and we fill in the rest with hope, curiosity, and what we know about who they are. Let's pause there and talk about baby fashion, because this world is not what it used to be. Children's clothes have evolved beyond basic whites and standard bows. Today's baby wear borrows from runway cues while staying practical for new parents. There's a collective lean toward organic cottons, bamboo blends, and gentle dyes. You'll find muted neutrals, but also playful prints that sidestep the pink for girls, blue for boys cliché. Designers pay attention to snaps and seams, to how a garment stretches, to how soft it feels at 3 a.m. when comfort matters more than anything. With Cemre, stylish and meticulous, it's easy to imagine a carefully assembled palette for a little one. She often steps out in clean lines with a touch of daring, so picture this: a tiny cardigan in oatmeal cashmere, a romper in slate with a whisper of ivory trim, and a wrap made of breathable organic cotton printed with delicate stars. Maybe there's a bold piece in poppy or saffron, just one, tucked in among the softer tones, because Cemre likes to leave a signature. And yes, the accessories. A cap with a fine rib. Knit booties with hand-finished edges. A swaddle that feels like air. If she's shopping for herself, she's thinking about texture and practicality, but also memory. First outfits become keepsakes, pressed between pages of a life that's changing. But we should stay fair. Sometimes a bag of baby clothes isn't a confession, it's kindness. Cemre has a close-knit circle, and we've seen how protective she and Gökberk are of their people. It could be a gift for a friend whose baby shower is coming up, or something for a niece or a cousin's new arrival. This couple tends to show love quietly, and a thoughtful present would be a very them move. Still, the murmur keeps growing: what if this time it's personal? If Cemre and Gökberk are expecting, it would be one of those rare pieces of news that warms the entire entertainment world. Cemre is adored for the grace she carries into every room, and Gökberk's steady, grounded presence has long charmed fans. Together they feel balanced, her effortless elegance, his calm focus. Imagine the two of them turning the key on a new chapter, painting a nursery at dusk, pausing between brushstrokes to laugh about names and lullabies. Even if all of this remains in the realm of possibility, you can't deny how beautiful the picture is. Let's zoom out for a moment and consider who they've always shown themselves to be. Cemre is famously private about her personal life, choosing to speak through her work and her style rather than through headlines. When her relationship with Gökberk became public, they managed to keep the spotlight gentle. They appear together when it counts, with an ease that says they prioritize what happens away from the flash. If they decided to take this step, it would feel like a natural progression, quiet, meaningful, and deeply theirs. Now, what can we learn from those discreet little shopping bags, whether they were meant for their home or someone else's? Trends in babywear right now offer a gorgeous blend of function and charm. Organic fabrics continue to reign, not just as a buzzword but as a comfort you can feel. Neutral shades ecru, sand, fog, stone mix with soft pastels and the occasional playful print. There's an art to simplicity, and new parents are embracing it. Snap closures that align easily, one-piece outfits that make diaper changes faster, stretch that moves with a growing body, these details matter. And no matter how beautiful a garment looks, the first rule remains comfort. Close your eyes and picture Cemre sifting through a table of folded rompers, her fingertips testing the softness before she places one in her basket. Imagine her smiling at a tiny hat that is impossibly small, then setting it next to a blanket with a subtle weave. Think of the deliberateness we've seen from her on red carpets, translated into something far quieter yet just as thoughtful. Whether she was buying for herself or for someone she loves, the care is unmistakable. Of course, if a pregnancy is indeed on the horizon, there's a world of style ahead. Maternity looks would instantly become a point of fascination, because fans pay attention to how Cemre structures silhouette and fabric. But today, we're keeping our attention on the baby side of the rack. The photos hint at bags from boutiques known for their premium children's collections, labels that mix artisanal methods with modern design. That suggests careful curation, the kind of choices made by someone who values longevity and touch. Still, let's not forget the magic of mixing high and low. Even the most design-forward parents love discovering a perfect onesie from a simple store, the piece that gets worn and washed and worn again until it's more memory than cotton. If the whispers turn into truth, it would be a dazzlingly joyful season for Cemre and Gökberk. And yet, even in uncertainty, this is part of what makes following celebrity life so engaging. We're not just peeking into closets, we're sharing a collective moment of anticipation. We imagine with them. We hope with them. We picture the little scenes, 2 mugs of tea, a folded stack of tiny clothes, a door closing softly behind them, and we let our hearts lean into the possibility. So let's gather the threads. Our intriguing title promised a secret behind baby shopping, and while no one has spoken on the record, the visuals have spoken enough to make us wonder. We've explored why this draws such attention, from the allure of a growing family to the simple sweetness of gifting something small and meaningful. We've walked through the baby fashion landscape, talked fabrics and closures, textures and tones, and pictured what Cemre's eye might be drawn to. We've remembered that quality and comfort come first, even when the camera is watching. And above all, we've enjoyed the guessing game, the gentle suspense that turns an afternoon errand into a story. Before we go, I want to say thank you for spending this time with me. It's always a pleasure to sit with you, sift through what's known and what's possible, and celebrate the details that make these lives feel close to ours. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you believe Cemre Arda is preparing for a baby, or do you think these purchases were for someone dear to her? If it is for a little one of her own, which styles do you think she'll favor, timeless neutrals with cloud-soft knits, or a braver palette with statement prints tucked in between the quieter pieces? I read every message, and your insights always shape our conversations here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with friends who follow Cemre and Gökberk, and make sure you're subscribed to Whispers of Turkish Stars so you never miss what comes next. Whether this story is the beginning of a new chapter or a sweet detour into gift-giving, one thing is certain, the sight of those little bags held in careful hands has left us all smiling. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep your eyes open for the tiniest clues. Because in this world, the small things are often the signposts to something beautiful. Now, just before you click away, let's touch on a couple of extra details that fans noticed in the photos and that might help decode the moment a little further. First, the timing. Cemre was seen leaving the boutique in the late afternoon, a quieter hour when foot traffic tends to thin, suggesting she wanted calm more than spectacle. Second, the brand mix. Observers identified at least one minimal, Scandinavian-inspired label and another known for heritage knits, which fits the balanced aesthetic we usually see from her clean, modern lines with handmade warmth. Third, the company she kept. Although she walked out alone, sources say she spent part of the time on a call, smiling softly and nodding as though ticking through a list. It doesn't prove anything, of course, but it paints a scene we recognize: focused, gentle, intentional. Meanwhile, let's not forget Gökberk in this picture. He's the kind who notices details. Fans praise how attentive he seems during interviews and how he deflects questions to protect the space he and Cemre share. If they are preparing for something big, you can imagine him comparing stroller wheels, researching car seat safety, reading reviews at midnight while sending Cemre screenshots with little notes. Even if these purchases were for a friend, that's still the energy they bring. Warm, considerate, quietly thorough. It's one of the reasons people root for them so loudly. They feel real. And because we love fashion as much as we love feelings, let's add a touch more style talk. The babywear world is also seeing a rise in gender-neutral capsules that build like mini wardrobes: 3 bodysuits, 2 leggings, 1 cardigan, 1 hat, 1 swaddle, everything designed to interlock. Textures do the talking: waffle knits, brushed rib, gentle slub cotton. Patterns whisper, not shout: thin stripes, tiny constellations, hand-drawn botanicals. Care labels matter, too. Parents gravitate toward pieces that survive the wash without losing shape, because the best clothes are the ones that get used. You can almost see Cemre sorting by feel, lining up tones on the counter like paint swatches, while the shop assistant wraps everything in crinkling tissue and ties it up with twine. So, is this the beginning of a beautiful chapter for Cemre, Arda, and Gökberk Yildirim? The only honest answer right now is that we don't know, and that's okay. What we do know is how effortlessly they carry themselves, how loyal their fans are, and how even the smallest hint sends a wave of tenderness across timelines. Whether these bags were for their own nursery or for someone they love, they've reminded us of something simple and luminous. Sometimes the tiniest clothes can hold the biggest feelings. Thank you for watching, for wondering, and for staying close. I'll see you in the next one.